What's up, YouTube? It's Bear with BearIndependent.com, the place where all the cool kids hang out. Today, we are going to talk about security in SHTF, which, in case you haven't been checking the news lately, is right now, question mark? Yeah. Civil unrest? Got it. Economic crisis? Yup. Food scarcity? Mm-hmm. Political tyranny? Yeah, sure thing. Global pandemic? Uh-huh. All the things, man. Oh, we're here now. Welcome to the new normal. Security. All of the tactical guys, the multicam, couch potato operators, everybody running around with their camelbacks filled with Mountain Dew, they're all about it, man. Oh, I got this AR, and it's got this thing on the front of it, and then when I hit this button, it does this thing, and I only use this kind of round, and I don't blah, 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 blah. Man, don't talk to me unless you can put a magazine into a paper plate at 50 yards. Like so. At a minimum. At a minimum. I don't care about all the cool guy stuff, but everybody gets wrapped around the axles on it. I'm going to get a Barrett M82 12.7 by 99 millimeter, baby. Let's do it, AP rounds. And I'm going to sit back from 1,800 meters away, and I'm going to rain fire down on my enemies. Yeah, whatever, dude. All of these questions about security in SHTF. What's the best measures I can take for perimeter security? How far away should the people in my MAG mutual assistance group be? How do I put together a security team? What about patrolling? What about QRFs, man? What about challenge questions? This and that. Here's what you need to know about security in SHTF. Food and water first. Food and water are legitimate security issues. Let's start with water. Have you ever watched how a predator hunts? Plains of Africa, but just anywhere. The swamps. North America. How does a predator hunt? They lay in wait for the prey to come to the watering hole. When their head is down and they're distracted, they pounce. They get their kill and they stay fed. What is your water plan for SHTF? I know it's not sexy. I know you can't cover your water bottles in Marpat Woodland and feel really good about yourself. I know that Ontario Knife Company doesn't make any really slick IBC totes. You know what I mean? Yankee Hill Machine is not making rain barrels. But gosh, man. What's your water plan? You will hear elsewhere, and probably on many of the blogs who make it their business to take my words and uncredited put them on the internet as if they had their own good ideas. Many of these places will say, you need a gallon per person per day. And that's cute, but highly inadequate. It is not a gallon per person per day. How do I know that? I live it. I do it. That's my job. I do these things. I don't talk about doing these things. I do these things. Minimum 3 gallons per person per day. Your body weight divided by 2 is the minimum number of ounces you need per day. Let's just say you're a 200-pound male. That's 100 ounces, or roughly 3 liters. So just to stay hydrated, 3 liters. Now, if you're engaged in strenuous activity in adverse conditions, that can easily double like that. Now you're at 6 liters, 1.5 gallons. You're already in a deficit if you're only prepping 1 gallon per person per day. All your long-term food, is it constituted? No. Beans and rice, buddy. Rice and beans. Copy that. How are you going to cook that? Water. Oh, Mountain House, Augustin Farms, My Patriot Supply, water, water, water. A couple gallons easy right there. What about sanitation? You're going to be walking around with prickly heat because all that salt from you sweating out all that precious water, rubbing you raw now. Walking around with your dangly parts smelling like a dumpster fire because you haven't policed your own body in the last few days. It's a legitimate issue. Water. This is why we recommend 3 gallons per person per day for water. And here's the thing. Storing that much water is difficult. Let's just say you have 5 people in your family. 3 gallons per person per day is 15 gallons. A month's worth of water is 450 gallons. Ask me how I know. I've played these games, man. I've done it. 450 gallons of water at 3 gallons per person per day. We're not talking about doing laundry. We're not talking about cleaning your environment. We're not talking about days of heavy water use or large meal preparation. We're not talking about any of that, or watering your garden, watering livestock. That's just at 3 gallons per person per day. For most people, that's about the most that you can store. You can catch or capture much more than you can store, has been my experience. So what are you doing to catch or capture water? Think on it, really. It's a legitimate security issue. You will die without it. Watering holes are of strategic importance. People fight over watering holes. People die defending watering holes. Do not underestimate it. You can have all the cool guy gear in the world, but if all you got is 2 canteens, you're dead, homie. You go in a far enough, long enough timeline, you're dead. Water. And the real cool guys will tell you that. The real cool guys don't care how much your rifle costs. They don't care. They don't, newsflash, they don't care what camo pattern you're wearing either. Are you operationally capable? Is what they care about. And water is a cornerstone of that. Now let's go to food. Food is a legitimate security issue. An army marches on its what? Its stomach. You have to be able to feed people. You have to be able to feed yourself. If you can't feed yourself, what are you doing? You will have to put yourself in compromising situations just to stay fed. It's why we advocate for food storage here. It's why we advocate for agriculture here, because I'm not going to compromise my morals and ethics to put food in my mouth, to feed my children, to feed my wife, to feed my friends and family. I'm not doing that. I know better now. I'm not going to pretend that I don't so that I can go take it from somebody else later. And for those who think that they are going to take it from somebody else later, remember, there's a lot of us out there that don't care what color your camouflage is. We care about operational capability. And you definitely don't want to come see us when you run out of food with malice in your heart. And so are you going to go out there and brave the wild, wild west to put food in your mouth? See, food storage isn't sexy. Agriculture doesn't win you points with your militia, although it should. Food and water are incredibly important. The likelihood, even today as the world burns, that you have to shoot somebody is incredibly low. But I guarantee you, you will drink water. I guarantee you, you will eat food. And lastly, sanitation. I guarantee you, you're going to have to use the potty. Have you thought about where you're going to do that? That's also incredibly important from a strategic standpoint. You don't want to get your poo in your food or your water. That sounds very basic, but very, very few people actually have a sanitation plan. So all the cool guys want to talk to you about the best gun for the end of the world. The gun matters not. The operator holding the gun matters. The equipment does not matter. The equipment is inanimate. Y'all should know this. As Second Amendment advocates, you should know the gun doesn't matter. It's who's holding the gun. We don't convict guns of crime. We convict criminals of crime. It's the same thing. The gun doesn't make you a superhero. You don't, simply owning an AR-15 does not mean, or an AK, or a freaking FAL, or whatever. Does not mean that you now all of a sudden have a security plan for SHTF. I hate to burst your bubble, but while those things are important, they are not the most important. What are you going to eat? What are you going to drink? Will you compromise your morals and ethics because you didn't do your homework now? I won't. That's why I'm making this video for y'all. I want you to think, really, really think about security. You're going to go out there into the world and put yourself at risk because you didn't stack food and water now when you could have. You were more concerned with, the reptilian overlords trying to harvest your kidneys for adrenochrome. Or how cool your tactical, ultra, long-range, designated marksman, AK, whatever, blah, 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 garbage is. I care not. Feed yourself. Feed the people you love. Figure that out. That's what matters. Shalom, y'all.